everyone! Welcome back to my channel, Trash to Teach.
Right now on the device you're using to watch this video, there is a digital wall standing between you and thousands of automated attacks happening every single day on the internet. It's called a firewall, and most people have absolutely no idea if theirs is turned on, configured correctly, or doing anything useful at all. Today we're going to fix that. I'm going to explain exactly what a firewall is in plain English, no jargon, no fluff, and then show you step by step how to check yours and configure it properly. In about 15 minutes, you'll know more about firewalls than most non-IT people ever will. I'm Trash to Teach. Let's get into it. Section 2. What is a firewall? Let's start from the very beginning. What actually is a firewall? Think of your computer like a building. That building has hundreds of doors, some for deliveries, some for employees, some for visitors. Now imagine a security guard standing at the entrance checking every single person and package that tries to come in or go out. They have a list of rules. Let this in, block that, always allow these, never allow those. That security guard is your firewall. In technical terms, a firewall is a system that monitors and controls incoming and outgoing network traffic based on a set of security rules. Every time data tries to enter or leave your computer through the network, the firewall checks it against its rule set and decides allow or block. Those doors in the building analogy are called ports. Your computer has 65,535 of them. Different applications use different ports. Your web browser uses port 80 and 443, email uses port 25, remote desktop uses port 3389. A firewall controls which ports are open, which are closed, and who is allowed to use them. Without a firewall, every port is potentially exposed. With a firewall, you decide exactly what gets through. Section 3. Hardware versus software firewalls. Now, there are two main types of firewalls you need to know about as a beginner: hardware firewalls and software firewalls. A hardware firewall is a physical device, usually your router at home. Your router acts as the first line of defense between the internet and every device on your network. It uses network address translation, NAT, to hide your devices behind a single public IP address. Most home routers have basic firewall functionality built in, and it's running right now whether you know it or not. A software firewall runs on your individual device, your laptop or desktop. Windows has one built in called Windows Defender Firewall. Mac has one too. These protect traffic at the device level, so even if something gets past your router, the software firewall is a second layer of defense. The best setup is both: hardware firewall at the network level, software firewall on each device, defense in depth. That's a term you'll hear a lot in cybersecurity. Never rely on just one layer of protection. Section 4. How firewalls actually work. Let's go one level deeper. How does a firewall actually make its decisions? Modern firewalls use something called stateful packet inspection. Every piece of data that travels across a network is broken into small chunks called packets. Each packet has a header, basically a label, that says where it's coming from, where it's going, which port it's using, and what protocol it's using. A stateful firewall doesn't just check each packet in isolation, it tracks the entire conversation. If your browser requests a web page, the firewall knows a response is expected and allows the incoming data through. But if incoming data arrives that nobody asked for, the firewall blocks it. It's stateful because it remembers the state of each connection. Firewalls also use rules called access control lists, or ACLs. These are basically a list of conditions. If traffic matches this condition, allow it. If it matches that condition, block it. Rules are checked in order from top to bottom, and the first matching rule wins. Section 5. Check if your firewall is on all right. Enough theory. Let's look at your actual computer. First thing, let's check if Windows Firewall is turned on. Press the Windows key, type Windows Security, and hit Enter. Click on Firewall and Network Protection. You'll see three network profiles: domain network, private network, and public network. Each one should show a green check mark and the word on. If any of them shows off, click on it and turn it on immediately. Most people will see all three on and green. Good. But being on isn't the same as being configured. Default windows. Firewall settings are reasonable but not optimized. Let's fix that next. Section 6. Configuring Windows Firewall. To get into the full firewall configuration, click Advanced Settings in the Firewall and Network Protection screen. This opens Windows Defender Firewall with Advanced Security, the full control panel. On the left, you'll see three sections: Inbound Rules, Outbound Rules, and Connection Security Rules. Inbound rules control what traffic is allowed to come into your computer. Outbound rules control what your computer is allowed to send out. Think of inbound as the front door and outbound as the back door. Click on Inbound Rules. You'll see a long list. Don't be overwhelmed. These are all the existing rules Windows has set up. Scroll through and notice that some are green, allowed, and some have a red circle, blocked. To create a new rule, click New Rule in the right panel. The new Inbound Rule wizard opens. You'll be asked what type of rule you want to create. The options are Program, Port, Predefined, or Custom. For most beginner use cases, you'll use Port. Select Port and click Next. Choose TCP or UDP. For most rules, you'll use TCP. Then enter the specific port number you want to block or allow. Click Next. Choose the action. Allow the connection, allow if secure, or block the connection. For blocking a dangerous port, choose Block. Click Next. Choose which profiles this rule applies to: domain, private, and public. For maximum protection, check all three. Click Next. Give your rule a name, something descriptive like Block RDP from external, and click Finish. Section 7. 5 rules every beginner should set up now. Here are 5 specific firewall rules I recommend every beginner set up right now. Rule 1. Block inbound remote desktop protocol on port 3389 from unknown sources. RDP is one of the most attacked ports on the internet. Unless you specifically need remote desktop from outside your network, block inbound connections on port 3389. This alone stops a huge category of brute force attacks. Rule 2. Block inbound telnet on port 23. Telnet is an ancient, unencrypted protocol. Nobody should be using it in 2026. Block port 23 inbound, full stop. Rule 3. Allow outbound HTTPS on port 443 only for trusted browsers. You can create an outbound rule that only allows your specific browser executable, Chrome, Firefox, Edge, to make HTTPS connections. This means if malware tries to phone home using a different process, it gets blocked. Rule 4. Block outbound connections to known malicious ports. Ports 4444, 1337, and 31337 are commonly used by malware and remote access Trojans for command and control communication. Create outbound block rules for these 3 ports. Rule 5. Enable logging. This isn't a block rule, it's a visibility rule. In the Windows Firewall Advanced Settings, click Windows Defender Firewall Properties, go to the Private Profile tab, and under Logging, enable logging for dropped packets. Set the log file size to 4 megabytes. Now you have a record of everything your firewall blocks, and you can review it to spot suspicious activity. Section 8. Testing your firewall. Last step, how do you actually know if your firewall is working? There are 2 free tools I recommend. First, Shields Up by Gibson Research. Go to grc.com and run their free port scan. It tests your exposed ports from the outside and tells you exactly which ones are visible to the internet. Everything should come back either closed or stealth. Stealth is better. It means your computer doesn't even respond to probes, making it effectively invisible. Second, use the Windows Firewall log we just enabled. After a day or 2 of normal use, open the log file. It's usually at c:/windows/system32/logfiles/firewall/pfirewall.log. Open it in Notepad or VS Code. Look for drop entries. These are connections your firewall blocked. If you see repeated drop entries from the same IP address trying the same port, that's someone probing your system. You can add a specific block rule for that. IP Section 9, wrap up. That's firewalls, from 0 to configured. You now understand what a firewall is, how it makes decisions, how to check yours is on, how to create rules, and how to test if it's actually working. Cybersecurity isn't about being paranoid, it's about being prepared. And a properly configured firewall is one of the simplest, most effective things you can do right now to protect yourself. If this helped, subscribe to Trash to Teach, new beginner tech and cybersecurity tutorials every week. Drop a comment below telling me which of the 5 rules you're setting up first. Next up, how to set up a VPN from scratch, because a firewall protects your device, but a VPN protects your traffic. Link is on screen now. See you in the next one.